Imagine a sprawling Beverly Hills mansion, Jeff Bezos's $165 million fortress, transformed into a James Bond fever dream. Golden chandeliers dripping like shaken martinis, sequins flashing sharper than a Walther PPK, and champagne towers rising taller than the egos in the room. Kris Jenner's 70th bash on November 8th was the glittering pinnacle of Hollywood sorcery. A Euro 70 extravaganza packed with Beyoncé whispering to Jay-Z, Mariah Carey belting hidden anthems, Oprah trading secrets with Adele, and billionaires like Bill Gates toting gifts wrapped tighter than NDAs. Justin Bieber, Vin Diesel, Tyler Perry, the elite converged to crown the momager queen. But then, slicing through the velvet ropes like an unscripted twist, they arrived. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, hand in hand. Black-clad invaders from the post-gala haze of Serena Williams' baby-to-baby glow-up. Reports claim they weren't even on the official list, a surprise crash that froze toasts mid-air. Whispers slithered. Who slipped the Sussexes the invite? And why, hours after those possessive poses lit up Instagram, Kris air-kissing Meghan, Kim trapped in a trio snap, did the photos vanish? Scrubbed clean like radioactive relics. This wasn't a crossover. It was a collision, exposing Hollywood's razor edge. Buckle up. The deleted pixels hide a desperate scramble for relevance that left the glitterati gasping. Let's freeze frame the exact second the doors swung wide and the Montecito fog rolled in with them. Meghan stepped first, chin tilted like she was still boarding a royal flight, black silk gown slit high enough to scream, "I'm back," without saying a word. Harry locked in half a stride behind, shoulders squared, eyes scanning the paps like he'd swapped palace protocol for personal security detail. Body language decoders later called it textbook. He wasn't escorting a wife. He was shielding a brand. One hand hovered at her lower back, the other subtly blocking lenses, a living firewall between Meghan and the flash storm. Inside, the room pulsed. Oprah mid-laugh with Tyler Perry, Mark Zuckerberg nursing a mocktail, Kendall Jenner swirling past in liquid gold, but the energy hiccuped. A ripple of weight them traveled faster than the tray of caviar. Reports insist the Sussexes weren't on Kris's printed guest list. Whispers pin the invite to a last-minute baby-to-baby overlap with Serena Williams, who'd hosted them hours earlier. Translation: they piggybacked from charity red carpet to billionaire ballroom, hoping proximity equaled acceptance. Kris glided over, arms open, smile dialed to host perfect, but her eyes flicked to her publicist, code for damage control on standby. Meghan leaned in for the double-cheek kiss. Harry offered the stiff nod of a man who once curtsied to queens. Cameras caught the microsecond. Kris's hand patted Meghan's arm exactly twice, warm but transactional. The hug never deepened. In that frozen greeting, Hollywood drew its line. Photo op granted, inner circle denied. And as the couple pivoted toward the bar, the real question hung heavier than the cigar haze. Who let the ex-royals crash the safest room in town, and how fast would the velvet rope snap back? Zoom in on the wardrobe war zone. While Kris shimmered in a backless chrome gown that screamed, Bond villainous worth billions, and Kim floated in liquid mercury sequins, Meghan arrived wrapped in a black turtleneck and a glossy sarong skirt that looked borrowed from a cruise director's closet. Couture gowns swirled around her like judgmental ghosts. Hers whispered, budget intern on casual Friday. The slit was ambitious, sure, but the polyester sheen caught every light wrong, glaring instead of glowing. Harry's tux was textbook tux, crisp bow tie, polished shoes, yet his single red poppy pinned to the lapel glowed louder than any diamond. It wasn't fashion. It was a guilt flare, especially on Remembrance weekend. Meghan, zero tribute. No pin, no nod to the fallen, despite proudly wearing poppies at UK cenotaphs and even US Navy SEAL visits. Online sleuths pounced. Convenience or calculated snub? Then the poses detonated. Meghan struck her signature S-curve, shoulders back, hips twisted 45 degrees, chin angled for the invisible crown. It wasn't confidence. It was a plea. Crop me in, not out. Cameras barely obliged. The real explosion came mid-snap with Kris. Meghan's hand landed claw first on the momager's bare back, fingers splayed, grip vice-tight, smile frozen. Not affectionate, territorial. Like she was anchoring herself to relevance before the tide pulled back. Kris's spine stiffened for a millisecond. The smile never slipped, but the eyes said, "Touch the merch. Lose the hand." Harry hovered inches away, drink clutched like a life vest, grin flickering between pride and panic. Twitter erupted in memes. Duchess of Delusion meets Momager of Money. Who blinked first? The claw, the S-pose, the poppy void. 3 frames that turned glamour into gossip grenade. And the sequins kept spinning, indifferent. Shift the lens to the lone ginger in the gilded storm. Harry drifted 3 steps behind Meghan's orbit, cheeks flushed deeper than the Cabernet in his fist. He gripped that glass like a grenade pin, knuckles pale, eyes darting for exits that didn't exist. Every influencer swirl left him marooned. Oprah gliding past, Justin Bieber fist-bumping Vin Diesel, Bill Gates laughing with Kris over a $10 million birthday watch. "Harry?" smiled at strangers who smiled back out of reflex, not recognition. His tie had loosened a single millimeter, enough to scream, "I'm unraveling." That poppy pinned to his lapel burned brightest. Remembrance Sunday loomed 2 days away, King Charles leading the cenotaph, Princess Anne saluting veterans in Australia. Yet here stood the prince, poppy proud, but party-trapped. Reports claim he'd worn it since London, a scarlet thread to the duty he fled. Meghan's chest stayed bare, no pin, no nod to the fallen. Rumors swirl she once mailed poppies to U.S. troops, now silence. Harry's eyes flicked to her empty lapel, then away, guilt flashing faster than the strobes. He tried small talk, stiff nod to Chloe, awkward toast with a producer whose name he forgot mid-sentence. Each laugh came out strangled, like a man choking on his own memoir. One photo caught the truth. Harry, mid-sip, gaze lost over the rim, while Meghan clawed Kris into frame. He wasn't +1, he was prop. The prince who once commanded battalions now guarded a cocktail napkin. Poppy bleeding red against black tie, whispering, "I still remember." But the room had already forgotten. Kris Jenner glided through her own gala like a chess master mid-endgame. When Meghan's claw landed on her bare back, Kris didn't flinch. She tilted just enough for the flash, then pivoted with the precision of a woman who survived 6 kids and a sex tape. Air kisses floated, 2 per cheek, timed to the beat of the hidden DJ. Warmth on camera, frost underneath. Her publicist hovered 3 feet away, phone glowing with contingency captions. She'd built an empire on curated proximity. She knew the Sussex scent, Netflix residue, memoir fallout, and a whiff of Montecito desperation. Still, Kris played host flawless. Arm looped Meghan's for exactly 4 seconds. Enough for the money shot, not enough for friendship. Harry got the nod, the half hug, the "so good to see you" that evaporated the moment the lens turned. Insiders swear Kris whispered to Kim mid-pose, "Smile big, delete later." The photo op was textbook Kris. Let them in the frame, keep them out of the circle. Meghan leaned harder, laugh pitched for the back row. Kris's eyes flicked to the exit count. Oprah's table, Adele's laughter, the billionaires who'd never trade a selfie for scandal. She'd raised fame addicts. She could smell one starving. Every gesture screamed transaction. The hug that wasn't, the toast that never clinked, the distance measured in millimeters of sequin. Meghan chased the glow. Kris controlled the switch. And when the night peaked, Kris's smile stayed diamond hard, but her orbit tightened. Kardashians only. The Sussexes floated to the bar, Kris already air-kissing Mariah. The photo existed, the alliance never did. Then came the erase button. The flashbulbs barely cooled before the photos detonated online. 1 minute. Kris's Instagram story. Chrome gown, Meghan's claw, Harry's strained grin, Kim's polite hostage eyes, captioned, "Family and friends celebrating 70. The next viral. X lit up like a Bond explosion. Sussexes crash Euro 70. Kim looks trapped. Meghan's PTA skirt versus couture apocalypse. Hashtags trended in 10 countries. Cached screenshots spread faster than the champagne. Then, silence. By dawn, Kris's feed was scrubbed. Kim's grid, poof. The trio shot, the claw grip, Harry's poppy guilt. Gone. Not archived, not blurred. Deleted. Fans screenshot the void. Why erase the royals? Theories ricocheted. Reports claim the Kardashians panicked at the optics. Sussex brand still toxic post-memoir, post-Netflix, post-we want privacy hypocrisy. One insider whispered to Page 6, radioactive. Kris won't let her milestone glow dim for Montecito drama. Unverified chatter went nuclear. Sussex camp allegedly furious at Kim for the crop-out. Kim's team fired back that Meghan begged for the pose. Another rumor, Buckingham Palace quietly nudged the delete, a subtle, don't dignify the exiles from Charles's comms team. Cached posts showed Harry's face mid-wince, Meghan's S-pose screaming desperation. The erasure wasn't subtle. It was surgical. Hollywood's ultimate power move. Tolerate the crashers, immortalize the core. Within hours, the pics lived only in memes and conspiracy threads. The Sussexes trended, then vanished, digital ghosts at their own party. The message crystallized. Even Kris Jenner, queen of calculated chaos, draws the line at borrowed crowns. This wasn't just a snub. It was a coronation in reverse. From Buckingham balconies, where crowds once roared for the spare prince and his duchess, to a Beverly Hills ballroom where they begged for a corner of the frame. Harry's poppy bled red against black tie, a silent scream of duty abandoned. Meghan's claw clung to Kris's back like relevance was a life raft slipping under. The glitter that once crowned them now mocked them. Sequins for subjects, champagne for commoners. Hollywood's mirror is merciless. It doesn't care who you were, only who you are when the lights dim. Once they were legacy, now they're cameos. Once they were history, now they're hashtags. The same hands that wave to millions now wave at paps who barely turn. The same voices that vowed privacy now pitch podcasts to strangers. And in every deleted pixel, the truth glints sharper than Kris's diamonds. Fame is a throne that eats its heirs. Harry's eyes said it best, glazed, lost, clutching a drink like it could refill the purpose he poured out. Meghan's S-pose begged for the crown she torched. They didn't crash Kris's party. They crashed into the reality they built. Palace gates traded for velvet ropes, honor for optics, remembrance for reinvention. So here's the final twist. The sideshow isn't the party. It's them. The couple who fled the firm for freedom, only to audition for a seat at a table that already forgot their names. Tell me in the comments, is this rock bottom or just the intermission? Hit subscribe, because in Hollywood's cruel mirror, the next reflection might be yours.